So a friend of mine is successful. His idea, the seed fund, it helped. He had a great product. We set him up with an investor, a very large investor. They crafted a deal. And I called up my friend and I said, you got to be happy. It's a worldwide situation. You're going to make a lot of money. He said, I'm not quite sure. I'm changing the deal. So I called the investor and I said, what's going on? And he said, I'm done with this deal. I don't want anything to do with this guy. I said, why? He said, I never do business with somebody who changes an agreement we've made. I'm never going to trust that guy going forward. So he can keep his product. And he walked away, and the deal didn't get made. He regrets that today, believe me. So, Sia, you had a different kind of experience maybe than the rest of us here in the panel of financing a company using the funds of your current employer that you were working with. And after the company funded this idea, actually turned it loose on its own, and you were involved in that. Why don't you tell us how that worked, because it's a kind of a different situation.
Yeah, it was peak Harmonis, so it was a little bit scary. And trust me, we had to have a business plan. So while it was a little bit more money as far as an initial investment goes, then I think that the expectation for having a more thorough plan was pretty hard to do. The great thing was it was really an idea that happened on a white napkin within the organization where we said, well, here's a cool technology that CompuWork could also have. But it was such a compelling idea, and it was unique enough because it was more research than technology, and we wanted to be perceived that way, that he said, here you go, and as a matter of fact, let's call it something else and go out and make that. But again, there was a lot of people that we could tap into for a business plan, and we flushed everything out for the first 4 years, almost month by month, what we were going to do to spend talent-wise and so on. And to be able to get that kind of funding, that's absolutely the expectation.
So what happened?
So we were successful. So 12
Give me the
years
good
later,
news.
yeah, 12 years later, we got 20 times revenue. So it was pretty exciting, and we did some really cool acquisitions along the way that were in our sweet spot, and made some other people successful too, who came with really neat ideas and maybe didn't have that much revenue. So yeah, it's really exciting.
So you've had the company's been sold, and you've had a couple of months off.
Yeah.
And so what are you going to do next?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is the whole executive team, there's basically 7 of us, so 6 of us, are going to start what we're calling second stage partners. And again, what we see is this is a little bit different in that we see people who can start and get up to that $500,000 and $1 million, but there's a big struggle, I think, in Michigan that we see a lot of companies just not get past that $1 million. And so we're going to come in and help those individuals and really go in and play a role, not just talk to them, but go in and play a role wherever they need it, whichever areas they're missing, and help them to get to that successful, 10 million, 20 million, 50 million outcome, and stay with them as long as we need to. So something pretty exciting that we think we can help out with.
Yeah, we wish you well.
There's so many ideas out there, yeah.
Aaron, you're the CEO and president of CMU's Research Corporation. So first of all, what does that mean to this audience? And tell us a little about what you're doing, because I think that this group needs to know that.
Sure. And we've been lucky enough to have some of you already through our facility, but we are on the south end of campus. We are a nonprofit organization that's obviously closely related to the university. And our objective is to work with early stage companies, those with intellectual property, some kind of technology-based business, and move them forward from the idea phase into the commercialization of their product. We do it in a different way. We have a 3-phase program called the Right Choice Program. We work the company through, and I'll just take it very high level, but if you'd like to come by, I'll dive right into the details with you because it's really good. But the first phase, we kind of go through the feasibility. Is the idea there? We really encourage you to go out and get some customer validation. As you've kind of heard different messages from the panel here, you might think you have a great idea, but go out and talk to somebody. If you're developing this pen and you think it's great, maybe Sia wants a blue one, maybe Paula wants a red one. Go out and see what your potential customer actually wants before you take the idea too far down the road. So the first phase really goes through feasibility. Is there something there? What else is on the market? Who are you really competing with? So very high level in feasibility. If you make it onto the next phase, we really dive into the details of, helping you walk through what is your supply chain, what are your numbers behind that, and really getting into the detail. Not necessarily, okay, I'm going to go to somebody that manufactures X, but who exactly are you going to go after? What are the price points that, what are the quantities? What's the lead time? Really developing that supply chain and helping you walk through that. And then if you make it on, and at that time we put you into the platform that I talked about to donate, to get your friends and family to start donating money, get you used to going out and pitching, feeling comfortable. A lot of people have trouble going out and trying to sell their idea, but we really try and tell you, you got to go out and do it. Even if you're not the salesperson, you have to be now, because you got to get some customers interested and get this product to market. So then moving on to phase 3 then gets really into, after you have that supply chain, you have those numbers, working through a full set of financials and identifying who you're going to go after or what you're going to go after for financing. A lot of the companies we see are not really bankable because it's a risk, it's a seed, they need more seed funding. And we really try and help facilitate different partnerships because in addition to money, what's better than money is money with good ideas and good infrastructure or good potential partnerships with what it is you're trying to do. So we help and try and facilitate some of those pieces. So again, by the time you get the money and you're moving forward, you also have an infrastructure and a support team behind you as well. So in addition to that, if you look at kind of the numbers and the progression through that, we take about 4 companies in per month. 3 of them go on to phase 2, and probably 1 of them make it into phase 3, just because, again, maybe the idea, maybe we find out their competition is way larger than they can go head-to-head with. And so that kind of gives you an idea of the numbers and the progression. So even if this idea that you're pitching today isn't going to make it all the way through, we encourage you to come back and try another one.